Now, back to what our last caller said. I'm not trying to slough that under the rug. And it's a really good point, and we talked about it yesterday, and that is that on the CNBC debate, after a half hour of just inane, insulting questions, Ted Cruz puts a stop to it. The important thing to remember here is that the CNBC people, the moderators, they loved the fact that they had become the story. Don't kid yourself. The media loves it when they become the story. And don't forget something else. When we're talking about mainstream media, drive-by media, they want to select the Republican nominee. They want to be the focus, and they want to have that power. They want whoever the nominee is to have to go through them. And so the RNC stood up and said, you know what? We've got a future debate on NBC, but we're going to cancel it. Your moderator's behavior was so egregious and so insulting and so puerile and so infantile, focusing on things that nobody cares about. We are not, this is what the RNC essentially said, we are not going to give you the chance to make fun of us, to impugn us, to whatever you tried to do in this debate. We're not going to give you the chance to do it again. So our caller wanted to know, how is that any different than what Trump is doing? And in the broad sense, there isn't any difference, which is my whole point yesterday. But when the RNC does it, see, as in favor of a whole group, all the candidates, people stood up and cheered. Because this is the kind of behavior and backbone Republican voters have wanted to see from the Republican establishment. If the truth be known, this is the kind of behavior that the Republican establishment has not been willing to engage in that we have wanted them to. Just show some backbone, not some linguini spine. Show some backbone. Stand up. Don't take it. You don't have to take it just because they're the media and you're Republicans. Who says the game has to be played that way? So they backed out of it. We're not going to give you a chance to insult us that way again, where we just have to sit there and take it. So here comes Trump. The difference here is Fox is not consumed or assumed to be part of the mainstream media. Fox is, by definition and by acclamation, Fox is different and apart from the mainstream media, and it's only one guy pulling out, not the entire field. But it's still a good question. If it was okay for the RNC to pull out en masse from a future NBC debate, then why is it so bad that Trump is pulling out? Because of the way he thinks, and this is what he says, by the way. I think there's so much more going on here than we know. I don't think he's not afraid of Megyn Kelly, and he might be personally insulted over the way he was treated and doesn't want to give them a chance to do it again. By the way, let's ask ourselves a question. Let's say Trump is scheduled to be at the debate tonight and is going to show up. None of anything that's happened here has happened. He's not pulled out and decided to go. Let's just play a game here. Hypothetically, none of this happened. The debate is tonight, and it's going to be the second time Trump and Megyn Kelly encounter each other. What do you think? Did you think about this before any of this other stuff happened? Did you ask yourself, what does Megyn Kelly have to do tonight to maintain, say, credibility or whatever? What pressures is she, in other words, pressured to not back down, to not be perceived as backing down at all? In other words, is Megyn Kelly telling herself she's got to come at Trump hard again, or people are going to not take her seriously? And what's Trump thinking? How does he behave? The way he behaved last time, people didn't like it, were a little critical. Does he tone it down and behave a little bit different? These are all questions that that's what we would be talking about right now if Trump hadn't pulled out. And other things too. But if Trump hadn't pulled out, what everybody would be, I guarantee you, the focus, what's Megyn Kelly going to ask tonight? How's Megyn Kelly going to ask her question? Is Megyn Kelly going to get the first question to Trump? How's Fox going to deal with this? That's what everybody would be talking about right now. So Trump's pulled out, And people are still talking about Trump, but even while he's not there. But I maintain that there's not a whole lot of difference in the RNC telling NBC, sorry, treat us that way once and that's the only time. We're not coming back. By the way, don't forget the RNC also told National Review, you know what? We don't want you helping us moderate any future debates. We're canceling your co-moderator status because of your anti-Trump issue. Trump is our front runner, and you've just run a whole issue on why he ought not be, why we ought to do everything we can to defeat Trump. We're not going to have you here moderating the debate. National Review said, okay, well, we kind of expected that. So it's okay for the RNC to broom National Review. It's okay for the RNC to tell CNBC, sorry, we're not giving you another chance to hit us. Trump pulls out for arguably the same reasons. And the reactions are much different. When you can find commonality through each and every decision that we are talking